Welcome. This is a tutorial for SB's FPS Game Starter Kit. Today we will cover how to make a free-flow TPS movement, I guess. I know, the kit was not meant for that stuff, but hell, let's go and break some stuff. First, what you're gonna do is make a function that is called turn player. Now, this tutorial is for beginners, so we will cover how to make this. First off, go to your BP character base blueprint. When you open it up, it should look like this. And find the fire reload comment. And inside of it, open the collapse graph of fire. Basically, the logic for firing your weapon. Now, what you want to do is after the swim, branch, bool, and the climbing, we want to have the function right there. So, you need to recreate this, and we will do that from scratch now. First off, we're gonna do set world rotation. And we are looking for the capsule component. So basically this part here. Perfect. Now the next step is we need our moving forward and moving to the right direction functions, which the FPS kit already has. So we go to this search bar here and we type direction. And there you have it. We have our forward direction and our right direction. The next step is drag out from the world direction forward and say make rot from axis. Make rotation from axis. Connect up the world direction right to the right pin and connect that to the capsule component set world rotation. That is it. That is our function. Now to turn that into a function, I mean, you could connect that right up here, but you would have to copy this code on another place we're gonna need it. So instead of copying all over the place this stuff, all we do is collapse to a function. This is our example turner. And you connect it up just like I connected the turn player here. That's the first step. Okay, let's go to the second step. I know I have the tabs open here, but if you only have this tab, what you can do is also go to this search bar and type in TPS cameo fix. There you go. And it will open you this window. Now by default, this will be connected like this. All we're gonna do here, basically this is a normal state of the character and this is for swimming. You can set up something different here if you want. Our focus is on normal walking. So, we're disconnecting the has weapon and putting it up there. That's all you have to do here. And now on the other side, at the end here, this is new. What you will see is probably just this. Of course, you disconnect it, move that away, and recreate this. Now, to create this, all you need to do is right-click somewhere and get has weapon enum. You get that? And then drag from this pin and say switch int on e weapon state. That's how you get this block. And the offsets you can just copy paste and connect it. Mind you, for this tutorial I have added a slight offset to the right when the player has weapons. And that is about it for this part. You compile and save. And we go to our next step. You can again cancel out this, select the search bar and type direction. Double click on both of them, and by default this will be connected here. But we don't want that, we don't need that now here. So we're going to connect this part here directly. And we're doing the same thing for both of the world direction, both right and forward. The same thing. By default this is connected here. So, that is it. Compile, save, move on. Next is our movement. And to get to this point, you go to the event graph and you find the collapsed node called movement. Open it, and on the lower part where it says mouse and gamepad sticks, at the end of both of these, you connect them to a branch. First connect them to a branch. You can quickly create a branch if you hold down B and just left click anywhere. Now, this is the interesting part. Because our character rotates before the firing calculations are done, the first shot will always be shot in the direction the player was. This is done in order to prevent that. So what we do is get equipped weapon, the one that is the function that is made by FPS Game Starter Kit. And from that we drag out is timer active by function name. And the function name is, of course, is if the weapon is firing, right? We want him to turn. You connect it up to the branch that you made, where everything is connected. The add control yaw input and pitch input of both mouse and game sticks. So basically when the player is firing, turn the player to the direction where it's firing. This will also prevent the first shot being shot in the direction the player was. This in addition to another script that you will see. And on the false button, we want him to do the same if the player is aiming. So not only if it's firing, but also if the player clicks, in this case, the right mouse key and aims, we want him to turn the player around. This is the turn function we made in the beginning. Okay, compile, save, and that is it for the character base. This is just the function we made. Now, the next step is to open up the BP weapon base. And here you will be met with something like this. Now, you can just search up the line trace weapon, or you can just follow the fire logic. Follow it, follow it, follow it, follow it. Yeah, mind you, you might have to do this for the projectile. I've focused on line trace weapons like rifles. Open up there and follow up to line trace weapon. As I said, you can search that up in the search bar too. You don't have to do this like that. And when you open up, you will get this window. Now usually this is just connected here. And that would be fine with the default FPS kit, but for this free flow movement, it has some issues. So you have to make this window for up and down for both of them, just to be sure. But I think this one is more important because it targets the third person camera instead of, I think this is for the first person. Yeah, the lower one is more important here. So let's recreate this. This is by default connected like this. First off, we want to drag out from our player cast here. We want to get the capsule component. It should be at the end under variables character. Okay, we got our capsule here. Next step we want to do is we want to get our forward vector. Get forward vector. Perfect. The next thing we're gonna need is timer active by function name, and we're looking for weapon fire, of course. That is the timer we need. Now we need this option here to switch between them. So we're gonna drag out from this pin and say select, and we're gonna use the, I usually go with this one because you can turn the, it's already set up. Just to change the wildcard, drag the bull here, and there you go. So if the weapon function by the name of fire is active, then we wanna have the third person camera's forward vector. But if this is the first shot, this function is not yet active. So the first shot is being fired. Tell us where the capsule component is rotated towards. And you compile, you save. That is it. Of course, I will include both these blueprints in the description of the video. You can download it. I mean, I work with version 4.23. And at the end, you get something like this. Alright. Thank you for watching, and laters.